Hey everybody, how's it going? So, this is kind of breaking news. This is actually pretty sad news, to be honest, and I hope things get better for him. But Zach, aka Asmongold, has made quite the long post about 40 minutes ago here. TLDR, my dad's health is really bad, and I have to take time off to deal with it. As a lot of you guys know, my dad's been going through a lot of medical turmoil in the last few months. Originally, he went to the hospital for pneumonia, then upon leaving, had a test show acute liver failure that turned out to be pancreatic cancer. Not a good day. That's rough. I don't know what else to say about that other than I'm just sorry to hear that. After the diagnosis, we took him to an oncologist who recommended chemotherapy, which we did. The first week was fine, but the day of the second treatment, by the end of it, he was so effed up and had so much difficulty breathing that he didn't sleep more than an hour at a time. It was so severe, I ended up sleeping on the floor next to his bed that night in case something went even more wrong. I wouldn't lay underneath a person going through chemotherapy because if they yak, you know. But that's the thing. Chemotherapy, guys, it's not good. It's not good. It's horrendous. I know several people recently who have gone through it. Shockingly, they've lived. And they're completely cancer-free, which is amazing. But both of them, when they went through it, both guys I know, ended up going downhill badly on it. It destroys you from the inside out. The thing about it is when people see cancer patients and they're not doing well, a lot of the time, shockingly, you're actually seeing them go through chemo treatment. You're not actually seeing them go through cancer. A lot of people end up getting cancer, having it for a long time without any symptoms. It's kind of wild. And they can end up getting diagnosed and still go years without really having much symptoms, and don't have as much suffering as you would imagine. A lot of the suffering you see is from chemotherapy. It's brutal. It is a very brutal treatment. But a lot of the times, if they think you can handle chemotherapy, and you get through that, you come out pretty well. The bad thing is whenever the radiation treatments fry some organs up, and then you have complications with that afterwards. It's a tough treatment. It's one of the most brutal treatments ever. So I don't blame him for needing to step away for all this, But again, chemotherapy people, they bring stuff up a lot, so fair warning, just don't be in the splash zone. Anyway, next day comes. We take him to the doctor, and of course they recommend him to go to the hospital because his blood pressure was some insanely low. Like, 74 over 53. That's insane, actually. That's absolutely insane. That's not crazy insane, but that's not good with someone going through chemotherapy. That was about 5 days ago. And that's basically where we're still at now. Well, a lot of salt would help with that. A lot of salt, a lot of water. Keep your blood volume high. That will increase your blood pressure. That's what they should be doing for him, I would think. I mean, just salt and water. You don't want to overdo the salt, but you definitely want a decent amount. That's what they had to do for my wife when she came down with POTS. Her blood pressure was low. Her blood volume was low. Increase that blood volume makes things better. But that's not exactly a apply to every situation type thing either. But if I were him, I would ask his doctor about, hey, should we just get a lot more water and salt in there? What should we do, if he hasn't already. There have been marginal improvements, but in a general sense, things are not looking great. Although I remain hopeful regardless. Because of the severity, this will require my full attention until it is resolved one way or another, which means streams will be on hiatus until that time comes. So, this is a full stop to his content. For anybody who may be confused, you really need to be directed to this tweet. Or my video, that works for me too, either or. Rest assured, there's nothing I'd rather do more than go live and continue on like I always do, but my obligation to my father must take priority. Dead on. This is the way you handle this situation. Their audience will be waiting for you when you come back, dude. That's just a fact. Okay? I bet Hassan is breathing the longest sigh of relief right now. Rest assured knowing that the people who you bother the most are going to have reprieve from your absence. That says something about you, you know? I think that says good things about you in general. That's my opinion. I think that, you know, their relief says a lot about, you know, being talked about by Asmongold at all in general, which is hilarious to me, you know? I like seeing Hassan uncomfortable, but you know what? I guess he deserves a break too, right? He's such a hard-working journalist, interviewing Terrys and whatnot, but hey, we don't got to get into that. This is mainly about, you know, his father, something that, Hassan would probably just be like, I don't know, I just sent my dad to the greatest hospital in the world, and you know, then they returned him back to me the next day, you know? Brain's not there anymore, but hey, he's still there. He's still around. Probably doesn't give a crap. I don't know. Maybe Hassan might. Maybe we should give him some humanity, though most of his humanity is wrapped up in Terry's and, you know, causing destruction on the other side of the world. So I don't give Hassan a lot of humanity, but I do like to think that maybe Hassan's family members might be human. Hopefully. Anyway, so rest assured, yeah, we got that part. I don't have a time frame or an expectation because of how uncertain things are right now, but I'll update you all when I know more myself. I know a lot of you guys have already reached out, and just know that both I and my dad appreciate the kind words. Thank you. So, you know, I'm going to do that. I'm going to keep him on my list there just to see, you know, when he comes back. Just to read some comments, Hodge Twins are telling him to look into this news article. Guys, okay. There's so many different things for cancers. There's going on the all-meat diet, getting rid of all carbs. That apparently those cancer cells replicate by consuming sugar. You know? Apparently you get rid of them by eating nothing but meat. I've heard that before. But we are not doctors. Okay? My wife's a nurse. That's as close as I get. I get a lot of really, really good medical information because nurses do more and more doctor work every single day. It's crazy. They just keep pushing more doctor work onto nurses. Go learn this, do this, without any pay increase. It's wild how bad it's becoming. And most people don't know. Nurses do 99% of the work. Doctors come in, they look at the patient, and they go, I'm going to prescribe him this. And then the nurse goes, they're allergic to that. And the doctor goes, well, what do you recommend, nurse? Well, this drug over here that's very similar is pretty close to that. And I don't think, as long as they're not allergic to any of the other ingredients, this one will be fine. The doctor will be like, okay, sure, try that then. So the nurse goes and tries that. And that's 99% of doctor-nurse interactions. Ask any nurse. Ask any doctor. Not even kidding. That's about how it goes. You'd be surprised with how close nurses are getting. And yet, they keep them down at nursing level for a reason. Pay. Doctors get less work. Nurses get more work. And who gets the pay? It's just insane how it's working. This is why our world is going to crap. Our entire planet's going to crap because of stuff like that, you know? So, Nux saying prayed for you. Your PA is your pa is a bad A, MF, and you're a great son for being there when he needs you. I mean, this is just nice stuff. Good, nice messaging. Somebody is going to have a negative comment on here. This guy, at least, I don't like you, but I respect your love for your dad. Take some time off. That's nice, you know? I have a feeling, holy crap, that's what his dad looks like? I expected his dad to look like a gray version of Asmond. Not even kidding. I expected him to look almost exactly the same build and everything, but just be gray. That's wild. That's funny, though. That's just what I had in my head, especially after hearing him on the phone, because they talk so similarly. Let's see here. Yeah, the bird. I mean, they're just very, very nice stuff. Very nice stuff. This guy cares about his dad. What an a-hole. Yeah, exactly right. That's exactly right. I'm just wondering, I bet we get to the real gym of comments down here, right? Take all the time you need. Where's the ones that are obviously going to be banned? Take your time. I'll be praying for your father's health. Well, good. I'm glad that most people here, it seems that most people here are not being jerks. That's really nice. Sorry to hear that. Family first. Take your time. Your dad gets well soon. This is just genuinely nice. This is when a good community comes together. You know, like just very, very nice to see. I'm glad that there are, and you know, let it be reported here, honestly. I don't see any bad comments. That's nice for a change. I think people are finally starting to get tired of the just constant fighting. Constant fighting. And at least in his community, they know when to come together and drown out the noise at a bare minimum, if there is any noise here. So I'm glad to scroll through this and actually really, genuinely seeing that there are no negative comments. I mean, just amazing. Goes right up to here. Best wishes. I mean, I dig all this, you know. Love you in your content. Sorry, dude. Like, this is just great. Absolutely great. Your dad's an absolute legend. So, yeah, there is all that. Nothing negative to say here. And I'm glad to see it. Because I expected definitely some people to come in and be absolute jerks. But I'm glad they weren't. So, anyway, guys. I'm sad they went straight to chemo, although I don't know the true diagnosis. Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the number one thing that they go to every time now. No alternatives, which is mind-boggling to me. I feel like we've had enough breakthroughs that I've seen in the news over the past 20 years on cancer, and yet nothing has changed at all. It's just absolutely infuriating. It's infuriating. It's discouraging. And I hope that we can absolutely, especially with RFK, I'm hoping that we'll be able to have a much brighter future ahead of us. Zach, I hope your dad makes a full recovery if you see this. I know you absolutely do not know who I am at all. Probably never will. But the sentiment is still out there. So thank you all for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.